So for whatever reason, I just truly do not like lacing shoes, right? So when I look at this and I think about all the months I spent waiting and hoping for a price drop to come around and all that good stuff, right? Yeah, had I thought that through and remembered how this works, probably would have not done that and probably wouldn't be here talking about these. What's going on, people? So, I had everything all set up, got the camera where it's supposed to be, the lights are all doing their thing, had all the shoes all laid out, It was all set to sit down and start doing this. And then, of course, I had some radio stuff playing, Sirius XM, I'm a big fan of that, right? The 90s station or whatever. And so then, all of a sudden, one headlight comes on, and I'm like, oh, well, clearly I'm going to stop and listen to this before I start, right? So, a few minutes later, here we are, right? Sitting here talking about stuff in my fancy, somewhat newish red fleece hoodie type of thing. I did a video about it not too long ago, right? Figure, let me break this out for today because I'm doing, New Balance reviews. It made sense, right? And since I wanted to see like how this thing actually feels, wore it out this morning, went to breakfast, went to the gym. It's a little thicker than I would generally like things, but I do like this little pocket action going on down here, and it is pretty soft, so I'll give it that. But the whole workout thing, I like lighter clothes. I am a big fan of that, and this doesn't quite fit in with that, but overall still decent enough that I'll probably go back and get the gray one. So it passed the test at least enough by my opinion. Though that does mean wearing stuff like this I need to get some New Balance slides because, for indoor wear or whatever. But that's not a thing I've really dove into before, so if you happen to have any sort of experience, I guess you could say, with New Balance slides, whatever, go ahead and leave that somewhere down below. And if it's one that's worth buying or whatever, maybe I'll pick it on up and then I'll be sitting down here talking about it, kind of like how I'm sitting down here to talk about these right here. There's the side of the box for you. Obviously that's not like where that little label is, but it doesn't matter. Either way, so got some New Balances like many moons ago. Can't even remember where these came from. Sneakers and stuff, that's where I got these. Yeah, because originally these things, they're expensive, right? You've seen like the made in England New Balances before, probably, if you're watching this video. They don't come cheap, and I don't like paying full price for things, especially when that full price is high. But they were marked down from like $240 to like $150, something like that. I was like, okay, this is enough of a price drop for me, right? So here we are talking about them or whatever. So let's go ahead and do all the things, right? So as I kind of alluded to, but I'm going to say it real quick just as an introduction, this right here is the New Balance 920, made in England in the pink and gray colorway. See, that one, super simple. I was doing some research, well, research by my standards anyways, to see what the colors of these other things are. Still not 100% sure. Weird, right? Either way, let's talk about these because this is what's here. Down on the bottom, see that going on down there? Looks a lot like the other pair of 920s that I have. Maybe they all look like this. Who knows, right? Probably the internet. Anyways, it does look decent enough, but not decent enough to stick around and ramble on about it. So we're going to move on up here, this whole midsole thing, right? So there you go, same sort of thing, right? Nothing too fancy, but it's good enough for me. And it's really what's going on inside that really matters, right? Inside this midsole. Either way, let's get you some more pictures from the outside, right? We'll eventually kind of get to the inside. Actually, we probably won't because I don't think I'm doing a full review on these. But either way, get you some other pictures in there because I like to get other pictures in there. Just kind of switches up the view and all that good stuff. But either way, as I kind of just said moments ago, as far as like doing the whole review and whatnot, I was thinking about it, and now that I'm sitting here, I don't really think that there's a reason to. And I'm feeling very strongly that there's not a reason to. Because here's the thing, right? I can't speak a whole lot on these, like the 920s and such. I feel like anybody that's actually here wanting to know more about these or whatever, or looking up into picking up a pair, probably knows more than me about these, right? Because that's just generally how that works. So, I'll get you a couple pictures in here or whatever, but it's not going to be the full-on breakdown. Just know that it's a lot of nice feeling suede and some kind of other suede, I guess. See, that right there is why I'm not doing the whole breakdown. I don't really know what I'm talking about sometimes, and that's fine, right? Either way, so going on into this here thing, right? Like I was just saying, not a whole lot to talk about. You got a whole lot of pink going on. You got a little bit of gray over here. One thing that is pretty cool, one thing that I do like about these they have just enough 3M on there, right? It's not too crazy, right? But it's like not too little either. I think it's like a good balance, you know? So very cool, very cool. And also, one other thing, they do come with other laces here. See that? I got these out just so I remember to talk about them. Now, I do kind of like these laces as an overall or whatever. I just don't think I would like them on here. So that's why they're going to stay over here. They're just here for the video, you know, because that's a thing. But these white ones, these plain standard white laces, yeah, I think this is the thing that makes the most sense for these. So I'm just going to go with that. But otherwise, it's just a New Balance 920, right? You've seen a lot of these before. I'm pretty sure my last video had some random ramblings and whatnot about stuff, but not this one. We're going to move on to the personal thoughts. These right here, right? I kind of knew what I was getting into because I think it was somebody recommended that I try a pair of these a while ago, and that's how I got my first one. But either way, I saw these and I was like, I do like these. I don't know if I like them enough to, you know, start doubling up on the models and such because I try to like not do that so much anymore. But it really grabbed my attention, especially when that price drop happened. And I was like, okay, well, let's just do this. And then once I got them in hand, I was looking at them like, oh yeah, this was a good idea. Like, how could I have debated this, right? Well, obviously because of the price, but you know what I'm saying. I looked at them and I was like, yes, this was totally worth me buying. So very cool. You know, it's got like some nice quality to the materials and all that good stuff. As far as like, quality control goes, that stuff's all where it needs to be. Skipping a little ahead or whatever, like comfort is really solid on these as well, but we'll get more into that in a moment here. So all the things that I like shoes to do, this is doing them. Obviously not the whole retail price thing, just want to drive that home. But otherwise, the 920, yeah, I would definitely suggest trying out a pair if you find a pair that you like color-wise and it's like within your price range, whatever you're willing to pay. Yeah, I don't think you'll be disappointed, but you know, maybe you have different standards than me and maybe you'll get them and not like them. But at that point, it then becomes a you problem and not a me problem. So like, I'll still be fine. Either way, I think that is enough out of me as far as this. Just like I said, thumbs up, right? Could have just summed it up, but I got pictures and I need to share those pictures with the world. So anyway, there's that. The other part of this video, sizing and whatnot, so let's go ahead and do that. I bought these in a 9.5, right? And the reason I did that is because these tend to feel like a true to size fit, and it's working out for me, right? I wore another pair this morning, was walking around in them. Yeah, definitely going true to size on these was fine for me, right? Not too much room in there, felt just right, at least by my opinion. Not a lot of room, so if you're one of those bigger footed people, you might want to think twice about that. Maybe get yourself like a bigger size, just so you can, you know, make sure you're good or whatever. And then if you end up with too much room, that's usually an easy adjustment. Buy some thicker socks or tighten the laces a little bit, you know? That's what I would do. That's what I actually do when it happens to be necessary. Either way, here's the thing about these though, right? The comfort on the midsole and stuff, it is really nice. Like I was walking around in these and I'm like, man, this is solid, right? Like not solid like stiff, but I mean solid like double thumbs up kind of solid, you know? So I do like that piece of it. I don't want to overstate it like it's like amazing. You got to go out there and try it right now. But just know that I think that most people will be into it. And the other thing that's cool about these is like the upper with all these nice materials and whatnot. It has like this overall plush sort of feeling like all around your foot. I've spoken highly of a lot of uppers on other shoes, but a lot of those, it's in some ways it's like they're light, they're breathable, and that's cool, so it doesn't take away from the experience. But in my personal opinion, right, these, just the way they're constructed and whatnot, it feels like they just kind of add to the experience overall. So it's a slight difference there. Just know that overall, this right here, very nice, top to bottom, inside to outside, whatever. Again, that price thing is just the problem. But still, even comparing these to other things of similar prices, got the like the 11s, Jordan 11s or whatever, I would take a pair of these over those any day because I think they're roughly priced at the same point, you know what I'm saying? But this, it's just more wearable, looks better, more color variety, and a lot of personal things. But this whole thing is based on personal thoughts, right? So either way, that's enough out of me. But one thing I will add in there, since I was kind of talking about like other things of similar prices and whatnot, one thing that's I'm sure somebody would probably be questioning me on, at least because of other stuff that I buy. How would I feel about these versus the 350s, as I was saying about these versus 11s, because, you know, similar prices. Honestly, it would probably come down to the color, right? Like, what color is it? Because these are really nice, right? And the 350s, I mean, they're cool and all, but, you know, if you were like, okay, this color 350 or this color 920, then it's like, okay, I'd sway whichever way I'd sway. But overall, right, to put a definitive answer out there, to the average person, this right here, easily. Like, again, they're more available, right? The price is better. The color selection is better. They overall look better as a model. Like, it's checking all the right boxes, you know? So yeah, these over most things of that similar price. But that concludes this. I got 3 more of these videos, right? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, got a lot of talking to do, so I'm gonna go do that. From me to you, have a nice rest of your day or rest of your night, whatever it is, wherever you are. I'll talk to you later, perhaps. Maybe we'll cross paths at some point. Who knows? We'll find out in the future. Later, people.